Hello dear students, welcome back to your English class. In the previous video, we learnt a portion of the lesson, A Light for the Palace Fire. Today, we are going to complete the lesson. We are going to know whether the messenger was able to light the palace fire. Before we begin, let's just recap what we covered in the first part of the lesson. We know that this lesson is about a palace that was situated on the top of a hill. We know that there was a fire in the palace that kept burning for several years, and one fine day, suddenly the fire stopped burning. This fire gave warmth and light to the palace folk, to the people who were living in the palace, and suddenly this fire stopped. People were worried. They wanted to light that fire back, and they were thinking of ways. When they were thinking how to ignite the fire, the king came up with an idea. What did the king do? He ordered his messenger to go down the village and to get some embers or get some coal to the palace to ignite the palace fire. And the messenger takes the order from the king and he sets off in the bitter cold with a big iron lantern to hold the coal. So now the messenger is on his way, and when he is on his way, he keeps shouting, "Can anyone help me with some coal to light the palace fire?" And whom does he meet? He meets a man. First he meets a man, and that man agrees to give him the coal. But in return, the man demands that he would like to have pieces of gold pieces in return of the coal pieces that he will be giving to ignite the palace fire. The messenger agrees. He takes the coal from that man and he sets off to the palace to light the palace fire. What happens? When he is on his way, he realizes that the coal is turned grey, and what he does, he throws that coal and he starts again to search for some coal to light the palace fire. Again, when the messenger is moving around in the bitter cold, finding some coal, he meets a lady named, who is that? It is Gina. We learnt that he meets a woman named Gina. Gina also agrees to give him the coal. But Gina also has a condition. She says, "I am ready to give you the coal, but what do you have to do? You will have to tell the king that he needs to make my father the captain of the guards." She demands that her father should be the captain of the guards in the palace. Even to this condition, the messenger agrees, because the palace fire is very important to the palace folk. And he takes the coal from Gina's fireplace and he sets off to the palace. We have learnt till here. Now we need to know whether the messenger was successful in igniting the palace fire by the coal given by Gina. What do you think? Is he able to ignite the palace fire with the coal given by Gina? Let's have a look. However, soon he saw that the coal from Gina's fireplace was no longer burning. What happened? The coal which Gina offered also did not burn for long. It turned grey. It had turned to grey ash. So he threw it away and set off again in search of some coal. He threw that coal as well, and he again started looking for some coal. He started the same procedure. He walked on the streets. He started shouting, "Please, can anyone help me with some coal to light the palace fire?" And when he walks, at once he came across a cottage. At last he came to a cottage at the foot of the hill. So when he was moving, at last he came across a cottage. He came near a cottage. What is a cottage? A cottage is a small house, a hut kind. What happened next? The door opened at once when he knocked. When he found that cottage, he went near the cottage and he knocked the door. And while he knocked the door just opened. That means the door was not latched or it wasn't locked. It just opened. What happened next? When he got inside the cottage, he saw there was a little girl inside stirring porridge over a small fire. When he got inside the cottage, he noticed that there was a small girl, and what was she doing? She was stirring porridge. What is porridge? Porridge is a watery kind of food which is made by boiling lentils and vegetables, or maybe milk and oatmeal. So this girl was stirring porridge. What happened next? And the messenger, he told her the motive of his visit to the cottage. He said that he was looking for some coal to light the palace fire. And when the girl heard this, she says, "A light for the palace fire?" She was shocked. "A light for the palace fire?" She repeated when the messenger told her what he wanted. "You may have as much coal as you like," she said. This girl agreed to give him the coal. She said, "You may have as much as coal you like." Now she agreed. Is there any condition that this girl also requires? Whether she wants anything in return from the messenger? Let's have a look. "Do sit down though," she said to the messenger. "Do sit down though. Warm yourself and have a bowl of porridge before you start out in the cold again." We learnt in the first part of the lesson that the winter that year was very cold and the messenger was outside in the cold the entire night. He was freezing. So this girl, she was moved with compassion and she told the messenger, "Sit down, warm yourself and have some porridge." She offered him a bowl of porridge. She is a very kind girl, right? Okay. What happened next? The messenger did as the girl said. Then he lifted a small bright coal from the fire and put it in the lantern. Now, when the girl said, "You have a porridge and then as much as coal you want, you take it and then leave." What happened? The messenger listened to her. He did as the girl said. He had the porridge and he also he lifted a small bright coal. He just lifted one small bright coal from the fire and put it in the lantern. He had bought a lantern to carry the coal. So he put it in the lantern and he set off to the palace. Let's see what happened next. "It will never burn all the way back to the palace," thought the messenger. Now the messenger is not sure whether this coal which is given by the little girl will burn till he reaches the palace, because the coal that was given by the man and Gina did not burn. On the way back it just stopped burning. So he was not sure whether this coal, this one small piece of coal, will light or keep burning till he reaches the palace. What happened? Let's see whether the coal kept burning or it was put off. With each step he took, the coal grew brighter. With each step he took, the coal grew brighter. It grew brighter. It started glowing. It started shining. It lit up the dark road as the sun was shining, and it warmed him too. He was walking in the dark road in the night, and this coal, it started glooming, it started shining, it lit up the road, it gave him light and it also warmed him. We knew that We learnt fire gives us light and warmth, and this coal which he brought from that little coal gave him the light in his dark road, and it gave him warmth in the bitter cold. So now he is on the way back to put this coal in the palace fire. Let's see what happened next. When he reached the palace, the coal still burned and glowed. So did this coal stop burning, my dear children? No. Instead, the coal still kept burning and it glowed. So what is glowed? Glowed means shone softly or shining. As soon as he touched it to the grey logs in the fireplace, they burst into flames. So now he took that coal and he touched them to the grey logs that were there in the fireplace. As soon as it touched, it burst into flames. What are flames? Flames are sparks of fire. So with the help of the coal, one small piece of coal given by that small girl, the messenger was able to ignite or light the palace fire again. Why do you think, my dear children, the messenger was able to light the palace fire only with one small piece of coal which was given by that small girl, and not by the coal which was given by the man and Gina? Do you know why? It is because the girl did not expect anything in return. The fire once again warmed the palace folk. They realized that this was because selfless love had come with the coal from the little girl's cottage. What do you mean by selfless love? Selfless love means loving someone without expecting anything in return. This girl did not expect anything from the messenger. She was ready to help the messenger to light the palace fire without any intention or without expecting anything in return. She gave selfless love. She moved with compassion when she saw the messenger freezing in the cold. She offered him the porridge, and she also offered the coal. She knew the importance of the fire in the palace because it gave warmth to the palace folk. Palace folk means people who lived in the palace. Because of her selfless love, that one small piece of coal was burning and burning, and it kept burning till the messenger reached the palace and he was able to ignite the palace fire. Because the man and Gina, they did not help the messenger selflessly, that coal did not help in igniting the palace fire. My dear children, in this lesson, we learn a very good lesson. We have so many friends, we have so many people around us, and we need to give them selfless love. When you help someone, do not expect that you will be helped in return. When you give something to anyone, do not expect something to be given back. That is just what this lesson conveys. Love one another selflessly, be kind and be good to each other. Now we have completed the lesson. You can read the lesson and you can learn the spellings which you do not know. I will attach the notes and I will send it to you. This time I have sent you a written notes in your 2-line books. I know it's difficult for you to write in the 2 lines. So kindly follow how I have written, and the same way you can write in your notebook. Now let's move to the exercises that are there in your textbook. Move to page number 17 in your textbook. You can use a pencil to circle and to write in your textbook. The first exercise says circle the odd one in each set. They have given 4 words and we need to find out which word does not belong to the group. First one, cold, freezing, chilled, hot. Cold, freezing, chilled, hot. Which is the one that does not belong to this group? It is hot, because cold, freezing and chilled all are of same meaning, and hot is their opposite, or it's an antonym. Then we have second one, kind, friendly, mean, helpful. Kind, friendly and helpful mean the same, and mean does not belong to the group. Mean means the one who is not kind, the one who is not friendly, the one who is not helpful. Third one, hide, search, hunt and seek. Here, hide does not belong to the group because search, hunt and seek, they are all of one meaning, which means you are finding something. Fourth one, blaze, flame, gloom, glow. Blaze, flame, gloom, glow. Which does not belong here? It is gloom. Gloom is something that doesn't shine, which is very dull. So just circle this in your textbook and let's move to the next exercise, that is in page number 18. In page number 18, you have the first exercise, exercise E. Match the words that go together. Those are antonyms, those are opposites. You can do it on your own. That's homework. Let's move to the next exercise, that is F. Write each set of words in alphabetical order. You know how to write it in alphabetical order. We have already done this in grade 1 and grade 2. They have given 4 words in one set. So this set we need to rearrange in the alphabetical order. What is alphabetical order? Alphabetical order means it begins from A, B, C, D. We need to check. We need to see the first letter of the word and then we need to arrange it accordingly. So with the first set we have house, palace, tent and castle. Do you have any word beginning with A there? No. Do you have anything with B? No. Do you have anything with C? Yes. So we have castle. We write C. Begin with C. Castle. And then what is the next one that comes? We have house. We have house. Next you will write palace and the last one will be tent. Just check, children, which word will come in the same order. And then remember, there is no place in your textbook to write there. So either after this entire set you can write at the end, or below those words in neat handwriting, in small writing, you can write these words or the answers. Second one, the second set, quarreling, coal, porridge and flames. So which is the first word here? We will write coal. We will be writing coal, C, and then D, E, F. So we have flames. Next word will be flames. Then we have porridge. We write porridge and the last one will be quarreling. The third one, let's move to the third one. Ant, fly, bee, ladybird. So here we have a letter beginning with A, which is the first letter of English alphabet. So we begin with ant. Then we have a letter from B as well, which is the second letter in the English alphabet. So we write B, then comes fly and the last one ladybird. There is one more set, that is the fourth one, which you will have to do it on your own. Now that you know how I have done here, similarly you will do it on your own. Let's move to the next exercise now. Write C for common nouns and P for proper nouns, page 18. We already finished learning common and proper nouns in our grammar. Right? Now I'm sure you know what are common nouns and what are proper nouns. Common nouns are just common names where we do not specify anything in particular. Whereas proper nouns are special names where we give a particular name and we specify a particular name. So just let's move to the examples and we will solve the exercise. You have to just write either P or C. If it's a proper noun, you write a capital P. If it's a common noun, you write a capital C. First one, London. London is the name of a place. So London is a proper noun. And remember, if you look at the word, London begins with a capital letter. Remember, proper nouns always begin with a capital letter. So write P. Next one, Republic Day. Is it any ordinary day? No, it's a Republic Day. There is something special on that day. So it's a proper noun. Third one, priest. Do we know which priest? Did we mention any name? No. So priest becomes a common noun. Right? C. Mr. Themi. Mr. Themi. Here we have mentioned a name of a man. So it is a proper noun. Garden. Garden is a common noun. We do not know which garden. We have not mentioned any name. So it is a common noun. It can be any garden. Next, September. September is a particular month. It is a name of a month. It also begins with a capital letter. So it is a proper noun. Gurudwara. Gurudwara. Is there any name for the Gurudwara? No, we do not know which Gurudwara it is. So Gurudwara, it can be any Gurudwara. There are so many Gurudwaras. It can be any. So it's a common noun, right? C. Bharat Hospital. Here the name of the hospital is Bharat. So it is proper noun. The last one, National Museum. There is a name for that museum. So it is a proper noun. If it was only museum, then we would have written common noun. But here there is a name, National Museum. So it is a proper noun. I have a small activity for you. Think and answer. What lesson did you learn from this story? You don't have to write this anywhere. Just think and just analyze what is the lesson you learnt from this story or from this lesson. And then remember the homework which you have, that is matching the words in page number 18. My dear children, I hope you understood the story. I hope you also understood the exercise. Please learn the notes and also read the lesson. Now that you are at home, you have lot of time, my dear children. Keep reading the lesson. Thank you so much, my dear children. Please do take care until I meet you again.